Hey, hi everybody.
Hey.
Hi Levi. Hi Sydney.
How's it going?
Good. Is my
Living the
mic better this week?
Yes.
Awesome.
A lot better.
Cool. Boy, have we got a show today, don't we?
Of course.
Look at
we
those
always
black tears.
Yep.
We got a special rescue guest with us today, That Newfoundland Place in Connecticut. And yep, Newfies need rescued too. It's sad. So, and Sydney GPRS has two of them on. And I really like them both, but I kind of like Berkeley the best, so I think we'll do him first. He's, I think he's only 8 weeks old, 9 weeks old, isn't he? You got to see this humongous boy. So we got a video for him, and we'll bring him up here in just a second. I did want to cover a comment because, because we can. Laurie, Amy said, don't forget your lipstick. All right. You can address that when you come up. So anyway, let's move forward because we don't want to run out of show here before we run out of, anything else. So I guess we better get back down here to the brand. There we go. All right. So Berkeley has a video and we'll just introduce him that way. Oh my, what a boy you got there. So what can you tell us about him, Susan? Okay, maybe we can do something different. We can't hear you.
Oh.
No.
Can you hear me now?
You did for a second.
Wait.
Now
I think it's
we
really
just
delayed.
Okay, go ahead and talk.
Now can you hear me?
Yep.
So there's a huge lag between your mouth moving and the audio coming through.
But that's okay. We'll get it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
So back to Mr. Berkeley. Wow. What can you tell us about that gorgeous, gorgeous boy?
Stand by.
We're standing by.
Say something.
We did a practice run the other night and we didn't have
Is that
this
better?
issue.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Sort of.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Berkeley's a very calm little puppy. I have 3 grandchildren under the age of 5 that visit twice a week. He never chases them, but it doesn't mean he's not looking for a morsel to fall out of their hand. He is very, very food motivated. And I call him a pickup dog because he's the kind of dog that wants to jump in the pickup with you and go on your next adventure.
All right.
He's been very easy to train.
Oh, look at that snoot.
The pictures look just like him. What a
I hope
coincidence.
so.
Now he's had a very, very good mentor that has Gidget taught him to not bite, lick, and all that stuff that we just saw in the video, or has he just not learned it yet?
Well, I think Gidget taught him because Gidget is actually a service dog. So when he first came and would bite on her, she would give him the what fors. So, and I just don't think he's not a very licky dog.
Okay. So that's a good thing for people who don't want to get lickied all over, right? Okay, Sydney, you're up here. I'm going to put some pictures up.
Okay. Yeah, and just so you know, Susan, there still is a little bit of delay, so it's a little bit like watching a spaghetti western. But when you're after the the delay of your audio is perfectly clear. So in case there's a little disconnect, that's what's happening. So Berkeley, so he is not even 5 months old yet, right? And how big do you think he is?
He's on the other side of 50 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably closer to 55 pounds now.
That's a big dog.
Yeah. Gosh, he almost looks like, because he's built very, very sturdily. He almost looks like there's some Mastiff in there or Great Dane or something. But yeah, gosh, I made a comment before the show kicked on that he was sitting on the couch with you like a perfect gentleman. So perhaps someone who is really looking for a puppy as far as age goes and acclimating to their pack, but for a calm personality, he would probably be magnificent to join a pack like that.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I'll tell you, just look at that. I just love that picture. But my favorite one is right here with him and Gidget. They just look so comfortable.
That's a good picture.
Yeah. Wow, Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. That's where you go to apply for him.
He is very good with other dogs. We have my adult children bring their dogs over all the time, and he doesn't have an issue with any other dogs. My daughter's got 2 pitties, and my son's got a greyhound, and he gets along with them all.
Wow, cool. Well, he has to get along greyhound. He probably can't catch him. All right.
So
Levi, do you have any questions?
What's his energy level during the day? Does he get zoomies a couple times a day, or does he like to play with your dog or play with toys?
He does like toys. He loves sticks and socks. He's pretty active in the morning. He gets up about 5:30. He takes a nap at 8. And then he pretty much lounges the rest of the day and has a good zoomy run about an hour before he goes to bed, which is about 8:39. I crate him at night, and we crate him when we're gone from the house for more than a couple hours. Otherwise, he has run of the house with Gidget.
Wow.
Does he have eyes? Because we can't see his eyes.
He does. He's got coal black eyes. Whoops.
Awesome.
How does he do on leash?
We just started leash training because he just, has been able to go out. He's been to the vet 3 times and no problem. If I have the goldfish with me, he'll follow me wherever I go.
Okay.
Have what? The goldfish?
I'm the same way. If you have goldfish crackers for me, I'll follow you wherever.
Okay. Oh, that. Gotcha. All right.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
Man, I'll tell you, I thought you said he didn't lick. Oh, he wasn't. He was going. I had my head turned for a second.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
He's a
So,
sniffer,
Rick,
not a licker.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's got to learn things. RipPyreneesRescueSociety.org is right where Berkeley is. And by the way, who figured out his spelling? Just curious. They had nothing to do, so they added the extra E. Okay. All right. Wow, Susan, thank you so much for bringing him on and getting him out here.
You're welcome.
And if you still got him in a few weeks, we'll get him on again. All right. Is that fair, Cindy and Levi?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take you down because I know you got a schedule here to keep. And thank you once again for fostering because, wow, because you know what fostering does.
Yeah.
It saves lives. So, all right.
Yes.
Bye, Susan.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Mhm.
All right. So, wow. Hi, Levi. You got big.
Hi.
Our next dog is a sensation from an now infamous litter, I like to call them, the Z litter. Remember last week we had Nellie on. That's their mama. Was it last week? I think it
Yep,
was.
last week.
That was last week.
Yeah. So, and I'll tell you what, this litter is just getting better looking the older they get. And we did them a video, and we'll bring them up. See what I mean by they're getting better looking the older they get?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, look at her. Okay, here you go. We're going to make you big. There we go. Wow, is she that mellow?
Right.
She is particularly mellow right now. She isn't always this mellow, but this is her favorite thing to do is to lay on the couch and to snuggle. So it's like literally she is the snuggliest, sweetest dog we've ever fostered. She loves to be in your arms, which when she gets a little bigger might be a bit of a challenge. yeah, as you can see, she's in heaven right now. So.
And her markings are just perfect, aren't
I
they?
love the snout there.
Her pretty face, yeah, she does have a beautiful face, and when she looks up at you with those eyes, your heart just melts.
Is that what they mean by those puppy dog eyes?
Must be.
She definitely knows how to play them, that's for sure. One of her favorite things that she does is in the morning when you wake up, she comes up to you and she puts her paws up on your like up on your legs, and she just adoringly looks at you, knowing exactly what she's doing to you. So
Wow. So she definitely likes her people, huh?
she likes her people. She connects. She will look deep into your eyes. Yeah, she looks to you for her support.
Okay.
She loves her dog.
What about cats?
Yeah, so we've got 2 kids. She plays well with them. And then we have 2 dogs of our own, and they play for hours. And that's probably why she's so tired right now.
Well, she's being a good girl.
Yes. But they play very nicely. We have an older dog that's a little more standoffish. And she knows to be respectful of her. She doesn't get in her face, and she's let her know that I want my space. So she knows how to interact with all different types.
All right. She seems to have some funny positions that she sleeps in.
Smushed.
Almost like you have to reassemble her.
Yeah.
She's got little eyebrows.
Yeah,
She
boy,
doesn't
that
even
dog's
like
just
to be
stunning.
next to you. She likes to be on you. Usually.
So she is a
All
true
dogs are
lap
lap
dog.
dogs if they try hard enough.
Well, they're supposed to be anyway. Sydney, got any questions?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I had 2 of her brothers just for 24 hours, and one of them with her same markings. Yes, he would like me to pick him up and cuddle him, and he would lay his chin on my shoulder. So I mean, these guys are so special. So how big is she now? Because she looks very leggy.
She is extremely leggy. She's 45 pounds, and she is kind of at that gangly stage of puppyhood. So she's growing taller than she is filling out. So she's kind of all angles, and sometimes her legs go in different directions while she's running, and so she can be quite clumsy.
Oh.
So highly coordinated.
She'll get there. She'll get there.
What you're saying is she's adorkable.
Yes.
Adorable. I like that.
I like it. That pretty much sums her up.
I guess I got to ask, how can that possibly be comfortable?
We ask ourselves that on a nightly basis. The contortion she gets herself into, we're like, this cannot feel good on that neck. And yet she's like, we have one video, I didn't post it, of her snoring loudly in that position because she is.
Oh, man, you should have gave that to me. I love that picture.
The sleepy blip.
Yeah, sound asleep with her tongue half in and half out. Boy, she just sleeps. What? Any place she lays down?
She loves the couch. She loves being with her people. So wherever you are is where she's going to be. She does love her dog bed, and at night she actually sleeps in her kennel. And as soon as I start brushing my teeth and make my way to bed, she just goes in there on her own because she likes her little space. And when we get ready to go for the day, and she sees me like,
wow.
when
Does she
run and
she
go
chase
crate herself? She will crate herself.
Okay. Does she chase the ball?
She does. She loves balls. She loves to chase balls. She will fetch. She was the first dog I've ever had that figured it out on her own really quickly. And she also loves all of her toys, but she likes to shred them. So that's it.
Okay.
She really likes her habits though. Like she likes the fact that you have a regular routine, and that really she seems to find a lot of comfort in that. And then it's like, okay, I know what to do next.
Yeah, in the mornings we walk our kids to school, and she's learned that routine, and she now goes running to the door as soon as we start getting ready because she really wants to go on a walk, and she loves going for walks. She does really pretty well on the leash. Right now we walk her with the harness. We've tried the gentle leader. She's not a big fan of that one. She's still
Neither am
learning.
I, if that's any consolation.
Yeah.
Now, what about you? Don't have cats?
We do not have cats, just kids.
Cats are easier.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of birds in the neighborhood and bunnies, and she's interested, but I don't know how she would do in a home. My guess is that she would do fine, but
Okay. My microphone's making some noise, so I'm going to put my earbuds in. So take it away, Sydney.
Okay. So, and you have two dogs, and then Zahara.
Mhm.
So she would be fine with just one mentor, or she would be fine as part of a bigger pack, you think? Because it sounds like you have a lot of activity, and she handles that well.
yeah, I think that she definitely needs another dog to show her the ropes. She gets her confidence from being around others. So she has a tendency to be a little bit on the shyer side and a little bit like nervous of other things. So having another dog that has some strong personality that can show her the ropes would be great. I think because her personality is kind of on the submissive side, she would do well with a group because she's never going to challenge the boundaries of the group. So yeah, I think 1, 2, 3, whatever pack there is, I think she would fit in really well.
Great.
Cool. Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. Where it's happening, that's where it is happening right now. For, well, a couple more minutes anyway, because then we've got Newfoundlands coming up. We get to meet Newfies. I got to see Sahara.
And how long has she been at your house, Kyla?
She has been with us for almost 4 months. So we got her right away when she was little. Her and her sister who got adopted, but she's still here. And she is starting to get very bonded. So she will bond quickly with whoever she meets, and she needs her home.
So she needs to go. Now, didn't she have a birthday coming up?
No, she's only 6 months old. She just had her half birthday.
Well, that's what I meant. It's still a celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. Any questions, Sydney?
Nope, I think that's it. I'm so
All
happy
right,
to
Levi.
see her.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking care of that girl like that. That whole litter of Nellies is, did she ever get to see her mom again?
No, we've never gotten to see her.
I was just curious. It doesn't matter. Nellie doesn't know who she is.
Our other dog's name is Nellie, so.
Oh, Nellie was her mom. All right. Well, you have a schedule also, so we'll take you down, and because Lori's probably having a fun handling 2 Newfoundlands down there at the same time, huh? So, Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. That's where you go out to apply for Sahara. She's beautiful.
All right. Thank
And
you.
she's
Bye,
not
Sahara.
gonna. And she's not going to go the other direction. She's going to get better looking. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for bringing her up. Wow. Okay. So now we got to go in for the black peers, right?
Yep.
So, well, these 2 are just pretty cool. I've only ever seen, I think, 2 or 3 Newfies in my life in person. That were like these. I mean, I actually had a Landseer at one time, but it wasn't mine. But I had to give him back from where I stole him. So anyway, Jellybean and Val are coming up. They have a little video too. Wow, there they are. Is foster mom in there somewhere? Hey, there's Lori.
Hi guys, how are you?
They don't have any hair.
Yeah, they don't have any hair. You're right.
They were pretty mad at, huh?
They were very matted. So they got
Wow.
groomed. They got all shaved, but I had the groomer keep Jelly Bean's fro here because that's her signature, I believe.
I think you just had to be able to tell them apart from each other.
Well, maybe that too. But, yeah.
Did you get your lipstick all on?
Yeah. Thanks, Amy Fran. I owe you for that one.
Yes, Newfies are beautiful. Now, and what's very, very sad is that they need rescues.
Yep.
Who treats a Newfoundland bad?
Exactly. That's what I want to know. Well, who treats any dog bad? I want to know.
Agreed. That lady must know you.
Pyrenees.
So now Val has an adopter. Is that correct? She's the 6-year-old, right?
Yep, and that's the one that's in my face right now. This is Val. She does have a home. They go back on Friday to the vet to get their recheck, to get their stitches out. They both got spayed. Val had entropia, so she had her eyes taken
Fixed.
care of as well. And That Newfoundland Place takes care of all of that. Any issues that these dogs need, Kathy and the team, which I guess I'm part of, we all take care of that. But That Newfoundland
right.
Place takes extra special care of all these girls and boys before they get adopted out. So
Yeah. Boy, they're beautiful.
they are. They're
They-
such
yeah.
sweethearts. They're just from the situation they came from to being as loving as they are. They're wonderful girls.
Yeah. Now, how do they adopt? How do they apply for a Newfoundland up there at That Newfoundland Place? I'm going to bring some banners up here so there's no confusion.
Yep. So if they go into That Newfoundland Place website and send an email out to Nancy at thatnewfoundlandplace.org, she will.
About us. That's where we found it.
Yep. And
All right.
she will send you back an email and the application. And don't wait until you see the perfect dog, because Kathy's got a lot of applications on file. So most of the time, she's got a pretty good idea of where the dog will go as soon as she is asked to take it in. So it's just a matter of getting the girls vetted or boys vetted, see where they're best placed, if they are, good with kids, if they're good with cats, if they're good with other dogs, whatever the case may be. That's what they do. So that's what we're here for. And that's what I help Kathy out with. So fostering
That's awesome.
is wonderful.
Yes, it is. Very rewarding. Now, am I hearing properly? They have more adopters than they do dogs right now?
Yes, but
Okay.
the last couple
Well,
of weeks.
I'm sure that changes up and down.
Well, I don't know. She's got quite a few apps, but the last few weeks we've gotten bombarded with dogs, unfortunately. But all of them are getting better. They're all pretty much already spoken for. So
Okay. And one thing I did notice about That Newfoundland Place, number one, it's got a cool name. All right. And the rescue is very active. You guys have gatherings, you have events and stuff.
Yep.
And then, then COVID hit, obviously, and slowed all that down. But that rescue is highly respected, just so you
Yes.
know, in the dog industry. Similar to the Great Pyrenees rescues, because Newfoundlands, similar to Pyrs, they're not for everyone. And
No.
why aren't they now? I just want to go cuddle with her.
Well, I think it's because, they're such large dogs. It takes a special person to like a 140-pound or 160-pound black bear in your house.
On average, they're larger than. Yeah, on average, they're bigger than a Great Pyrenees.
Yes. Yep. Yep. But they're wonderful dogs. They're so devoted. They have the patience of a saint. They're wonderful protectors.
Mhm.
I personally haven't met a bad one yet. They've all been wonderful. I fostered 6 or 7 last year for that Newfoundland place, and they were all amazing dogs, and they all had.
Because they're big,
Yep. Yep.
They're
But
not
they're
called
yet
gentle
they
giants for
still get-
nothing.
but yet people still mistreat them.
I know. Yeah. And unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever you prefer, I guess, none of them know their size. So they all think that they're lap dogs. So I have my own Remy, and he's about 140 pounds, and I have to move around this couch on a nightly basis so he can make himself at home. So,
You have 2 Newfoundlands yourself, don't you?
yep, I have a Remy, he's 10, and then Rip is actually a Landseer,
He's the black and white one.
Wow.
and he just turned a year old. And Rem's over in the kitchen, and then I actually have 5 total. I have a Pyrenees that I rescued from a shelter 3 years ago, and Steve came up from Ohio and helped me make him a better dog.
That's the now infamous Mr. Tibbs.
That's
You
right.
do have a question there, Laurie. Jackie wants to know: Are they normally all docile? Well, that's hard to say. I can answer part of that for you. They're dogs.
Yes, exactly. As you can see, Val is 6, so she's a little more laid back. Jelly is wandering all over the house. She wants to see what's going on when she's out in the yard. She wants to play, but she is only 2, so she's still a puppy. But yeah, for the most part, they can be pretty docile. They sleep quite a bit. Yes, Denise, they do have very easygoing personalities. And they're just wonderful. I can't say enough good things about them. Like I said, I haven't met a bad one yet, regardless of what they have been through before they come into rescue or to us. They want to please. They just want to be loved. They just want to be loved, like all of us.
Now, Rena's got a question. Rena's saved a lot of dogs, and she says she thought Newfies were almost never in rescue. Is that true?
Well, I wish Kathy was here and she could tell you better. But like I said, we've been bombarded. And Kathy, if you're listening, chime in, please. And
Here's the thing. There, you've got the Newfoundland Club of America, and there's rescues attached to that, and then you've got That Newfoundland Place, and check this out.
Oh,
there she is. Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah. And she can type. And Kathy is the founder and the president of That Newfoundland Place. Sydney, do you have any questions for Lori?
I do. So, and this is about like the care of their coat and that kind of thing, because Newfies, typically you don't shave them, but because they're double coated, just like Great Pyrenees. But these 2 girls were a special case. It was for their health benefit because they were so matted. But typically, that's one thing that people ask, like, how many times a year do you need to give them a bath? How much should you brush them? Those kinds of things people want to know with a dog with this kind of big, beautiful fur that's this size.
Yeah, they are a lot of maintenance. They do need grooming. They do need daily brushing. They do need their daily exercise.
That's just any dog.
Well, yeah, that's very true. But
the bushes are bigger, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you can make sweaters or blankets out of the hair.
Or another dog.
Yeah, but they need jobs too. If you don't work them and don't do anything, then they kind of lay around, and with the size of them and not doing a whole lot of exercise with the amount of weight on their joints and everything else, they need to be they need to be exercised regularly. So if you want a couch potato, that's not going to do anything, these probably aren't your dogs. And if you don't like lots of hair and you don't invest in several vacuum cleaners a year, they're not your dogs. And if you don't like drool, then don't get a Newfoundland, because when they shake
Wait a
their
minute. She's not drooling. She's not drooling.
I know. Isn't it good? So Remy, if he smells one odd smell, he'll get like one little dangler. But there are Newfoundlands that do,
I've seen them.
they have the lower jowls
They
and
get the Beethoven shoestrings.
Yes, exactly.
Now, are these mixes, or does that Newfoundland place even care if they're mixes or not? Some rescues don't.
There you go. She's chiming in, but no, Kathy wants them all saved. So these girls
Well,
are
they deserve to be saved. Yes.
Yep. Hi, Val. Hi.
I don't know, but if I don't have white fur in my dinner plate, I send the plate back.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I have the white and the black and some red with my my chow mix, so I have a little bit of everything.
I do have a question for you, Lori. So in the application process, does a potential adopter have to have Newfoundland ownership experience?
Well, Kath, can you answer that? But she does have a process where you have to be home checked. So, and of course, since COVID hit and all of that fun stuff, they do it virtual FaceTime. They come in and look at your home, make sure not all dogs have to have a fence. Not all dogs. Right here, she just chimed in. Just basically, if somebody's going to give them a good home and they're a good fit, that's pretty much what we're all about is getting these girls and boys into the best home, and it's a forever home, not just a right now home
or an until home.
Yeah, exactly. And Kathy has a lot of previous adopters that come back regularly. She does have 3 open houses during the year, and then in October, it's the first Sunday in October. I believe it's the 1st or the 3rd, maybe. She has her reunion, and that's the fundraiser. So anybody that wants to help donate, anything helps. Food, beds, blankets. And money, anything. Kathy takes such good care of these pups. She has several sanctuary dogs, and not just Newfoundlands, that she keeps at her house full time because they cannot be adopted out for medical reasons or what various reasons. But any little bit helps. So if you're interested, go on her Facebook page at That Newfoundland Place and do what you can. It always helps.
Yeah. And if you want to donate, the first thing you see at thatnewfoundlandplace.org is a donate button, just like most rescues. They make it easy to do.
Kathy's post said that they don't do a first come, first serve. So if you see a dog, like if you're madly in love with Jelly and you want her, she's possibly already spoken for, and I know Val is. But we fit them to the home that they deserve to be in. Like I said, with fostering, if they're good with cats, if they're good with kids, they go to the right place.
Yep. I'll tell you, the GPRS adopters that are out there watching the show, you thought you had to pry your dog out of their cold dead hands. Here, hold my beer. You ain't seen nothing yet.
That's right.
Kathy, that's her breed. Okay.
That's right.
That's her breed. Okay.
Yep.
And they're a beautiful breed. And what is their job? Now, I know they're water rescue. Now, I have read that from time to time they've been used as livestock guardian dogs.
Yep.
I don't know how well they did, but I've read that they had been used in the past.
Yep. Well, if you see, like anytime you check out a Newfoundland, they tow sleds, they tow wagons, a lot of Christmas tree places use Newfoundlands to go out in the woods and to, haul your Christmas tree back after it's cut down out in the woods.
Wow.
Just they're therapy dogs. And I believe that's what Vale is going to do is the home that she's going to go to. Brooke has many, many, many years of Newfoundland experience, and she uses her dogs as therapy dogs. So a lot of mercy for that.
I have one last question, and then we got to move on. Levi's got some amazing information he's going to give us. As a Pyrenees owner and trainer, when we tell people that the Pyrenees is not for everybody, and we go into why isn't the Newfoundland? What's their temperament? Is it? It's not the issue. Is that correct?
No, that's not the issue at all. They're such sweet dogs. They just want to please. They just want their owner to be happy. That's all. Pyrenees has a job to protect, but their owner is, way down the line on that.
Yeah. So, well, they're boundary dogs, and I don't mean that in the way you think. They protect their boundaries and all of the content. So, basically, you're a herd of sheep. What are you saying? I can see you, but I can't hear you.
I just said thanks, V. Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
gosh,
they're
she's
wonderful
beautiful.
dogs, but they're not always for everybody. So do your research. As with any breed of dog, do your research. Don't just see a big black fluffy, oh, I got to have that dog. Do your research because they aren't for everybody. They,
Right.
they need attention. They, don't get a dog and just leave them out in the backyard. So.
Yeah. And I'm sure that Newfoundland Place is similar to just about every rescue in the country. If you get denied, it's not personal. And don't take it personal, okay? Mm-hmm. They're protecting these dogs because they know where they have come from in a lot of cases, okay?
Yep.
And so never take it personal if you get denied.
Yep. So real quick, I just had asked Kathy because I'm on both sides of the coin, so to speak, here with now being a foster and letting them go and bringing in a rescue. When I brought Tibbs in, like I said, Steve came up here and helped me. I remember for a month, he would stand at my French door and stare out the window and wait for his mom and dad to come back to him. He was 8 years old. His family dropped him off at a shelter and just left him, And
he was grieving heavily.
Yeah, he was sad. And so fostering instead of putting them into a shelter, I believe gets them ready for the next step rather than putting them in a kennel area, a concrete box. Here, when you foster, they are loved. They are part of the family. They, earlier Jelly was climbing up on the couch, in a shelter, they don't get the one-on-one quality that they need when their heart is broken from their family deserting them. Right. So
that's
please, everybody that's watching, consider fostering. I'm going to cry because it's so rewarding. It's and I wish I could turn my camera around because Jelly is.
You're doing. Oh, okay. You're doing a great job.
Rolling around, rubbing her back.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell the difference between her and the bed.
Yeah. So at a shelter on a concrete floor, they wouldn't be able to do that. They just, So. Right.
Oh, there's so much they can't do at a shelter, and it's not that the shelter doesn't want to not do things. They can't do things. They're just.
It's a lot of the times you see the shutdown personality instead of the real dog that a foster is able to experience and encourage.
Yep. And I think that had I not gotten Mr. Tibbs, he probably would have either been euthanized or left in a concrete shell. And I know you can
not have, he wouldn't have had a good ending.
Life.
No.
And now I've seen video. Lori, she takes group walks with her dogs What, twice a day, don't you?
Well, every day when I get home from work, yes. On the
Okay.
weekends, yeah, twice. Yep.
And how many dogs you got there?
Right now I have 7, 5 of my
Wow.
own, and then the 2 new.
And you
Okay.
walk them all at once, don't you?
Yep, I do.
Wow.
Okay. So there you go, guys.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So don't say there's too many dogs to walk at once.
No, you're right, Kathy. Shelters do have a hard job, and they do deserve a lot of credit. And
Absolutely.
I'm sorry if I
Absolutely.
didn't put that out there.
Yeah.
But yes, they do. They do a great
Those
job.
shelters don't want to euthanize for space. That
No, they
really
don't.
affects the people.
No. And if I came across that way, I apologize. I didn't mean it that way at all, because they do have their hands full, and a lot of them are full to capacity. So,
But the truth is, foster homes are needed desperately, and it's more than just GPRS and that Newfoundland place. This is countrywide.
Yeah,
it is countrywide.
And just really quick, sometimes people say, I don't want to foster because I would be too sad letting them go. And the sadness that you feel as a foster letting them go is always matched with this immense happiness for seeing them where they go. And the little piece of sadness that you feel is a drop in the ocean compared to the sadness that this dog is feeling for being abandoned. Yep. And so if you can have the chance, and not everybody can foster, but if you have the chance to foster and kind of help scoop them up out of that ocean of sadness and help get them ready for a new home, there is nothing in the world like that feeling of being able to have the privilege of helping these dogs in that way.
Right.
I agree.
And
my first one last year was a farm dog, never been inside. She was completely matted also. Her name was Mocha, and I took her in. Same thing, completely matted. She would not leave my basement and her new dog bed because she'd never been inside.
Wow.
But she is now with Frank and Lori, and they treat her like their own child, and she is loving life. And I got to see her at the open house last year in October, and she is doing fantastic, just spoiled, rotten, and loving life as it should be. So it is very rewarding.
I think it's
That's
very
good.
similar to the saying of it is better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
Agreed.
Yeah, you feel sad,
Yeah.
eventually the foster watching them go to their new home, but also the dogs themselves would be way sadder being stuck in the shelter, having no experience. And again, I don't mean to say stuck in the shelter as in the shelters are doing a bad job, because they are doing their best.
Yep.
But for a lot of these dogs, it is not what they could need in the end.
Right.
Yep.
So it is, Kathy, it is a very great stepping stone in that regard. But ultimately, it's where we see them flourish and thrive in a more personable space.
Exactly. Yes. Very well said. Thank you,
And
Levi.
fosters are, Lori's there setting these two up for success.
Yes.
Yes.
And she's not going to keep them, because wouldn't that be kind of selfish of you?
Very much so. And right now I have my hands full with my own 5.
Oh,
so.
absolutely.
And yet here you are fostering 2 more.
Hey, it's what I guess it's what I was destined to do at my age now. So as long as I can get all of these pups into the best possible forever homes, and not just a for right now home, that's what I want to do. And I can't be more honored to help Kathy and the team. I just feel so privileged every single day to be helping her and getting these girls and boys into their best homes.
That's a good rescue. GPRS is a good rescue. And wow, what a show.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I'll stick around, and Levi.
I begged you for a year.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you mentioned the open house. That Newfoundland place gives open house a whole new meaning.
Yep.
We were going to look at streaming their show, their open house. Oh, it's open, all right. There's no internet. There's no nothing out there for their open house. Well, you got to accommodate all these big dogs.
Yep. And Kathy does a great job. They have a pond. All the girls and boys that come in up there, they get to go swimming. They all love Eddie. Eddie is Kathy's husband, and they all gravitate to him. But they do a wonderful job and place them in the best possible place that they all deserve to be for the rest of their lives.
Good.
Yeah. Go out and check out that Newfoundland Place website. And if you feel the need, that very first tab that says About Us, that's where you can request an application. And like Lori said, don't wait, because if you can see the dog, that dog's probably already adopted or gone.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So, wow. And that's a whole lot different in the Great Pyrenees world.
I know. Yeah, that's very sad. I feel bad. Too many out there need homes, that's for sure.
But that's okay. And Lori touched on one other thing, her age. Rescue needs younger people too.
Hey, wait,
okay?
I'm pretty young.
Okay.
Younger than you.
So am I. But the younger people, we want to get younger people. Levi's younger. I actually don't know how old he is. Don't care. But
Under 30.
because you can't rely on the senior. Yeah, you can't, because Rescue has got a lot of senior citizens within Rescue. And I used to think it was because, well, they're retired, they got time. All right, well, yeah, that's probably a big part of it. But it's awful hard on the seniors, too. I mean, there's some heavy lifting, and like GPRS headquarters, they still need help down there. And Sydney's hopefully still putting together a possibility for the fourth weekend on Sydney.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Melise liked the idea, but we'll see. Wow. So Levi has got some information, and we're going to pass it on to him if he has time, and everybody else has time. What do you want to talk about, Levi? What can you possibly want to talk about?
Yeah, so I would also, first of all, briefly like to touch down on the grooming needs of the Newfies and the Pyrenees, your double-coated dogs, as we previously mentioned. One of the biggest things is, yes, they do mat. Yes, they do need daily grooming, or if not daily, every other, if you're keeping up on it. But the difference here, as I fortunately have my brushes next to me, the difference between covered in dog hair, a slicker brush, as in the ones with the little needles here, this is just your surface brushing. This does not get to the undercoat. This does not brush out the undercoat. And moreover, they can get compacted undercoat, where you're going to brush them and their undercoat is so almost matted underneath. So you need a metal comb. Mine just happens to be a D-shed comb with 3 rows. And this is what I get down to the skin to make sure they are not matted, and also to help relieve them of some of that hair. With double-coated dogs as well, obviously with the 2 girls here, they were severely matted. This happens with any mat, because a mat ends up cutting off their blood circulation underneath. It's like sitting on your feet for 5 hours and you feel pins and needles. It traps the odor, it traps the bacteria underneath. So when that happens, it's a medical reason. They do get shaved. Double-coated dogs do stay cool on their own with their double coat. Do not shave the double coat unless it's medical, because that's how they stay insulated during the winters and the summers. You also leave them more susceptible to skin cancers, sunburns, and general infection. So with those, just as a briefly touch on unplanned, because the 2 girls here are shaved, do not shave your double-coated dogs unless it's absolutely necessary, / I guess technically recommended by a vet, who is, keep in mind.
Yeah, those 2 Newfies, there was no hope.
No, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's similar with our Pyrenees, your St. Bernards, your Golden Retrievers. They all have double coats. Don't touch them. Just brush them nicely. Regular grooming helps keep them clean and healthy, not shaving them. But to what we're really meaning to touch on today is looking at breeders, good and bad, red flags of what to look for. And so certainly through rescues and fosters, we do try to encourage adopting as opposed to shopping. But something that I would always like to say first and foremost, buying from a genuine, real, actual, ethical breeder who is breeding for bettering the breed and not making a quick buck. There is no shame in that either. Because if you're buying from a backyard breeder and you're supporting a backyard breeder / puppy mill, Amish farm, then that is part of the problem, because then we see those dogs come back through the shelters because they have either genetic defects or neurological defects, or rather issues, that a real, genuine, actual ethical breeder is looking to hopefully breed out. So just a couple red flags to glaze over here. Most of them will not be like an immediate, oh, you want a dog? Come get a dog, $300, or like an immediate, here you go, I'm ready to do it. A lot of genuine breeders are going to also vet you, just as in a job interview. Why should I sell you one of my dogs? What are you going to do for my dog? It's also in that a genuine breeder would also say something along the lines of, if it doesn't work out, if something happens, I will take that dog back. They're not going to hopefully ghost you or say, nope, it's your problem, it's your issue, see you later, that sucks. They are able to provide health certification. You're able to see both parents. Mike, too, have something to say about this. You're able to see both parents, ideally in an ideal world here, without COVID as your general restriction. A breeder is not opposed to you coming to visit, meet the dogs, meet the puppies. You will not find a typically well-bred dog with a well-meaning breeder through a pet store, through a farm, an Amish farm rather, sorry. Or usually in like a Facebook group saying, yep, we got him. We have the mother at 1 year old and the father's 2. In an ideal world, they're able to give you the litter longevity index of a minimum, in an ideal world, of 8 generations back to see that these dogs are living their fullest lives. And it's not just doing it for hobbies, just doing it as a side. They are here fully invested in providing the best bloodline they can possibly provide for you. And so certainly, wherever you've gotten your dog at the end of the day, you've got your dog now, do your best. Thank you. Wow. You've got your dog, do your best by them no matter where you've gotten them now. But going forward and moving forward with the education of what you're looking for in a good breeder, or what you're not looking for in a bad breeder, if I said that correctly, then go forward and make a better choice. Because then if you're supporting the less great breeders, they can keep on turning them out.
They're going to keep right on pumping them out. And
absolutely.
I got one more red flag I can let people know about.
Absolutely.
If
Go ahead.
they can't spell the breed, don't get the dog
That's
from.
a good one. If they can't spell the breed, in an ideal world, they're waiting until the female dog is at least between 3 and 5 years of age. They're not pumping them out every single heat cycle. And then, ideally, because male dogs can always continue breeding, they wait for the male dog to be older and not 1 year. I almost said 1 o'clock. 1 year old, 3 years old, 4 years old, because a male can continue to breed, where a female just isn't a human female. They eventually are less safe in continuing breeding, but they wait till ideal world 3 to 5 years of age. But you're also looking at the coat condition, the color, and the temperament of the puppies. Ideally, the breeder is also working on them in their, they see the puppies between that 1 to 7 weeks of age first. They're not releasing the puppies before 8 weeks of age. Super huge red flag. But that they are working with the puppies in beginning crate training, beginning confidence building, neonatal handling, being able to turn them over, gently manipulate limbs, creating easy, stressful situations that the puppies are then able to begin learning how to cope with before going to their brand new home. It's not the puppies got the run of the house, they peed all over the house. It's the breeders actively working on getting them ready to be the most successful in their future home.
Yeah. And another red flag is if they come up in a wagon, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, if they're coming up in a wagon or you're meeting behind like a Walmart or a gas station, super huge red flag. I don't super recommend that. It's not a great environment to sell a puppy.
Now, there can be all kinds of problems that can come about with bad breeding.
Absolutely.
You can have temperament issues, neurological issues, and the most common is orthopedic issues, and amongst others. Okay, so have you ever priced out? Well, fixing a dog's hip, it's not cheap, and it's not getting any cheaper. It's going the other way.
Absolutely, and it's if you pay a really shady price for a dog, chances are you're going to go pay triple to 5 times for their health issues / unfortunate behavior issues. And these dogs didn't ask to be poorly made. the breeder's fault at the end of the day, unfortunately. So dogs don't choose to be poorly made. Dogs don't choose to have these health issues or behavioral issues. It's the unfortunate market of a backyard breeder, or PYB. Okay, buddy.
And these rescues, they firmly believe that these dogs deserve to live, and they'll take one in, and they will do everything in their power to try to set that dog up for success. All right. And man, don't give them a hard time if you see a dog that's skittish around you. That's not on them. Okay. The rescues just work tirelessly. So instead of complaining, help them. That might work.
Yeah.
Okay. So, wow. You almost ready, Levi? Because we're on overtime.
Unless you had any other questions. Yeah.
But Sydney, you have anything to add or any questions, Sydney? Oh, hang on. Okay,
I
sorry.
had to unmute myself. No, I mean, I think that's really important. One of the things that you touched on, Levi, too, that people don't always think about is a responsible breeder is not going to release those puppies at at a very young age. People who come and say, I want a 4-week-old puppy, that's what I'm looking for. That's terrifying. And reputable breeders are going to safeguard that puppy so that there's a lot of investment from the mom dog, from the human beings, because they're babies. Like, would you take an infant to daycare or, that wasn't ready, or like that, those kinds of things? Like, these are babies. Yeah. And so that's the thing. And I've only ever had rescue dogs, and that's really important. But, it's something that, a good breeder is going to safeguard their dogs and puppies.
And there's another red flag in a not great breeder is that they are willing or ready to push a second puppy onto you. Just because if you're already getting one puppy, that's already a ton of work. If they're trying to push another dog, or they're willing to negotiate a price, because we cannot negotiate a life, or they're willing to give you a BOGO deal. Super sketchy.
And then they guilt trip you if you don't have the money.
Yeah.
So, wow.
They need to be able to prove, vaccination records. They need to be able to prove certifications of, hip check, anything that, research your breed. What are these breeds most prone to? So the Pyrenees, it's, your gastric torsion, it's your luxating patellar, it's hip dysplasia, cancers. Is that the breeder is able to show you through a genetic line, through documentation, that their line does not have those, or does not get.
That is correct. That is correct. And
so there's a lot of things that you can avoid by investing in a good dog.
Your chances of getting a problem is very slim. Okay. And temperament of the dog, there's no guarantee. They're dogs and they have teeth. Because if you attack a Great Pyrenees, he's going to stand his ground.
Absolutely. So we're looking at also basic dog behaviors, but a breeder is hopefully looking to breed the best temperament of their dogs to get your best chances of a good temperament puppy.
They want the best Pyrenees and poodle they can breed.
Mm-hmm. And not together.
There's somebody around here.
A breeder will never mix breeds on purpose. Those are designed.
Don't mix these dogs up, okay? Just don't do that. That's a bad idea. A livestock guardian breed with a poodle.
Those two.
They're doing it. That's why I brought it up. They're doing it.
All street names. But a genuine, actual, real, ethical breeder will never purposefully mix a dog breed. Because you can't create a standard for that. It's not a Fallout character creator.
Yeah. All right, Levi. Thanks. Boy, we sure did have some good dogs on today, didn't we?
Absolutely, as always.
And where do you fit, Lori? That's my question. Oh, hang on. Don't get up. I'll take care of you. Don't get up.
I'm all
there.
Good.
You go.
Yep. I'm good. I'm here. I kind of make my way in between all of them.
Well, I'll tell you what, when they all 7 come around and jump in bed with you, where do you sleep?
You're like the middle of a Newfie sandwich.
Yeah, wherever I can.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I hope Kathy lets us use these for promos in the future.
What do you think, Kath?
She may have gone home. Oh, she is home. Anyway, we are going to head out. just message me and let me know what she says. And we don't do anything right away, but don't forget, next week is a day before the rescue show's year anniversary. The show is a year old.
Wow,
It'll
congratulations.
be a year old on the 19th. So I thought it was this week, and I looked at. I went back and looked at the first show again. I'll be. Look at that.
Thank you, Kathy.
For sure. Thank you, Kathy. So we hope you guys can come back, and maybe it'll catch on, and other fosters can come on the show and show their dogs off. I know that's not something you need, but we need it, please. Thank you, guys. Look at that beautiful dog. Look at both of those beautiful dogs. They were so well behaved. Well, off camera, the Jelly Bean was, right?
Yeah. No incidences. I can't believe none of the 7 of them barked or anything. They were all. We were out in the yard working most of the morning, so hopefully they're all, tired and they're all relaxed. So that's a good thing.
Actually, mine are asleep just as we're ending.
Thank you for having me, you guys. I really appreciate it. That Newfoundland Place appreciates it as well, and everybody that can do what they can do, help us out. Anything helps, so I appreciate it.
And we thank you for fostering, because fosters make it happen. But don't forget, donors make it all possible.
That's right. Yep, exactly. Okay. Yep, we couldn't do it without them. And Kathy's had some really big expenses. A couple of ACL tears on a Newf last year.
Well, she had really big dogs.
Yep, exactly. And those aren't cheap. So, and like I said, we take care of all of the issues that any of these dogs have. They're all vetted, shots, everything's taken care of before they go to their forever home. So
everything, including their bags, are packed.
Yeah. Yep.
All
we send food home. We send, they're all chipped. They're all ready to go when they walk out the doors.
Okay. All right. Well, another day gone. What a show. So thank you, guys. And we'll see everybody next week. And we're not going to do anything special for our birthday. Well, I don't know. We could. You never know.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have dogs on. How's that? Yeah. There's something special. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.